Shalom, giving all praises to Yahweh Bashem Al Shai Bashem Kodash. Shalom to the 144,000 and the rest of the elect out there. And I'm going to entitle this video Revelation 21, verse 1 and 2, a deep dive. And not so deep, but anyway, there was a video up a couple of days ago, put up by Sakari, one of the Sakari YouTube videos. That's Sakari versus GMS or Great Millstone, but it was in the middle of it, so I kind of caught maybe 5 minutes of it, and they were kind of going back and forth with focusing on the GMS Dallas camp. So they would play some of what the Elder Yashwamba was going into, dealing with this subject, the New Jerusalem. And I didn't really hear it enough to get what either side was on. I do know that Sakari teaches that the New Jerusalem is not an actual place. It's in what words, I forget what words they put it in. That it's symbolic for Israel, which is true. When you go into the dimensions of it, see a lot of things in the scriptures that the prophets saw in visions and dreams and so forth were symbolic. That some things represented other things. Like we know that the beast is not talking about an actual beast. That it represents, this current system, this military system, military, political, economic, and religious system. So you got to know the difference of that, Anyway, I'm gonna just go into this, and I may go into something else. Or I may go maybe a couple verses down, but I was kind of going through these two verses, and it led me to a lot of things. It actually led me to the Bible commentary, and I went to just one of the commentaries, Cambridge. I went to, and I believe I went to another, and there was some good precepts that they featured in their commentary, which made sense. Like I said, the commentary is either hit or miss. So I was surprised that they were on point. Anyway, I don't know how long this is going to be. Trying to get the spirit to get in me. So I'm going to go to the first verse. Then I'm going to go to the commentary. Let me see something. There's 27 verses, but who knows? I might go a couple of verses beyond that. Might make this a series, and read from the first verse to the 27th verse and break it down. But let's see. It says, first verse, and this is after the destruction, as you know, in Revelation chapter 18 was a complete, utter destruction of this man's system. When Babylon goes down, this whole system goes down, and it's not going to rise back up again. Isaiah said that it's not going to rise up again. What is the scripture? Affliction shall not rise up a second time. Merely paraphrasing, I believe. I said it right. So once this system goes down, and all systems go down, Daniel 7, our kingdom is going to be an everlasting kingdom, which shall not be left unto other people. Daniel 2 verse 40 on down. So let me go to the first verse. And I saw a new heaven and a new earth. Now we know that it's not talking about the earth being utterly destroyed and the Most High created a new earth. It's talking about the terrestrial, the ground, the Aratazah, in the Hebrew, the Aratazah, which means the earth, the ground. In other words, the old heaven is the old system, Esau's system, because they have the whole world. There's 850 plus military bases, U.S. military bases around the world. And anytime you have one sovereign nation that has a military, active military in another sovereign nation, that's an occupation, which means they control it, like the Roman Empire. Roman Empire, they didn't put us into slavery, so to speak. They didn't make us hewers of wood and drawers of water. What they did was a thing called tributary, which is a tax. Anytime you're in a system and you got to pay taxes, that's slavery. That's a different form of slavery. It's called tribute. They call it taxes today, and like out on Canada, they'll call it duty. Like I went up to Canada 2 times, and the money system is different, of course. But when you leave Canada, there's like a toll you go through. And once you go over that toll, you're in New York. You're in Niagara Falls area, Buffalo, not too far. I believe it's Buffalo's right after once you get over, but there's a borderline between New York and Canada. When you come into Canada, what they do is they have offices there, just like in Mexico, coming from the Mexican border. They have offices there. It's like a toll system. They don't charge you, but they ask you where you coming from. I'm coming from New York. Why are you coming here? Oh, to celebrate this festival. Oh, just to sightsee or whatever. I got relatives up. Whatever you tell them, and they may say, "Let me see your driver's license." But I'll give out your driver's license. They supposed to, if there's 4 or 5 people in the car, they're supposed to check each and every one of y'all. They're supposed to ask y'all questions, open the hood, the trunk or whatever. But they just talked to, no, it was a brother that was driving. I was in the passenger seat. So they questioned him. They said, what are you here for? How long you going to be? You know, what's your nature of business? Let me see your driver's license. And that's, y'all could go. Y'all have a good time or whatever. So, you know, so when you're coming back to go to Canada, I don't know if they have no, they just let you go. I think they let you just go. It's coming in, but going out, they let you just go, if I remember. But then right at that toll, they have like a souvenir shop. You can buy different souvenirs, candies, and stuff from that country. And it says duty free. And duty free means we're not going to tax you. If a item is $10, that's or 10 American dollars and 15 Canadian dollars, whatever the case may be, there's no taxes on it. If it's $10, you pay $10. $15 Canadian, you pay $15, which is good. So duty free means tax free. Duty means tax. Tribute is also, another word for tax. The ancient pagan Roman Empire did not enslave you. Although they enslaved certain people, they pretty much said you can do whatever you want. Whatever God you want to worship, you can worship. But whatever you, if you're a farmer, if you're whatever, you had to pay a certain, if you're a farmer, you would either give them cash or you would give them some of your cows or whatever. So they would have tax collectors or publicans come around. Matthew, one of the disciples of the Lord, was a tax collector, and they hated tax collectors. They looked at him like toms. you know. But he was one of them. This Tom, this coon, became a disciple. Anyway, so let me go ahead and read this. And I saw a new heaven and a new earth. New heaven and new earth means a new system. And they're going to build a new system according to their liking. When our system is set up and our new heaven and new earth come, the buildings are going to be looking different from the buildings in America or in Europe. For the first heaven, or the former heaven, which is the former heaven, when our kingdom is established, the former heaven is Esau's world. We do know that they're the Edomites. There's no doubt about that. And the Israelites are saying, well, they're not Edomites, the Edomites are Arabs. Don't even, as Abba would say, just forget them. Just forget them. Paul says in not too many words, if they be ignorant, let them stay ignorant. Merely paraphrasing 1 Corinthians 14. And the first earth was passed away, and there was no more sea. Now the first thing that came to my mind was the Holy See, which is the Roman Catholic kingdom, let's call it. But when I looked it up, it wasn't holy S-E-A, it was holy S-E-E. But you can't call it the Roman Sea. And what the sea represents? Sea represents waters, but it also represents people. Revelation chapter 17, I believe it's the 15th verse, if I'm not mistaken. As a matter of fact, you know what I'm going to do? Let me go on to that. Revelation 17 and 15. Matter of fact, I'm going to do it this way. I'm going to go word search. I'm going to go water. Okay, I knew it was going to come up 2 times. First verse, and there came one of the 7 angels which had the 7 vials, and walked with me, saying unto me, come hither, I will show unto thee the judgment of the great whore. That's Babylon. That's not Europe. That's not Rome. That's not Germany. Germany's not going to be wiped away. This is something that the Bishop Nathaniel said, that Rome is going to be wiped off the map. Rome, you're not going to see Europe anymore. That's not scriptural. The only thing that's going to be completely destroyed is Babylon. And then the system that is connected to, which is the EU, the European nations, they're going to be intact. A lot of buildings are going to fall down because of the earthquake. The whole earth is going to quake. So pretty much most of the world, or pretty much all the world, is going to have to be built back up. So there's going to be a lot of work. We're going to hand out continual employment. And everything's going to be based upon the standards of the law. I will show unto thee the judgment of the great whore, which is Babylon the Great, that sitteth upon many waters. Now, does it mean that the great whore is actually sitting upon many? Let me look up the word whore. Now, if a priest, the Israelite priest, has a daughter, if she plays the whore, you're supposed to burn her. So this place is called the whore. So you can almost say that this place is a illegitimate daughter of the Most High. Let's say this is used at. Oh, you're going off. So this is why it must be burnt. That can't be. It's going to be stoned and burnt. Stones are going to, which is brimstone. So let me do this. Okay, let me go to waters. I'm sorry. Let's go to whore. So let's look up the word whore. Porne. That's where you get the word porno. A woman who sells her body for sexual uses. And that's America. That's where you get the word fornication. Fornication, the cup in her hand, full of the abominations and like making the world accept fornication represents. I'll give you a perfect example. Kamala Harris went. What was it? Uganda. If I'm not mistaken, the leadership of Uganda trying to get them to accept and pass laws to protect dumb people, and they were like, "Nah, we ain't having it." And that has nothing. That's fornication, meaning you went to bed with the whore. Money backdoor money deals. But that has nothing to do with the MOTB. Has absolutely nothing to do with the MOTB. So that was a weak precept to go along with Revelation 13 and 16. Revelation 17 and 4, or 4 and 5, that's talking about the morals. So that's against the morals of the people of Ghana, of the people of Uganda. And those are Israelites out there any goddamn way. So that has nothing to do with the MOTB. The MOTB, they're going to accept that. That's just a money issue. A digital money issue, which is going to be a part of your body, which is called biometrics. Bio meaning body, and metric meaning measure. They're going to put it in your body. And so they prostitute a harlot, one who yields. And by the way, we played the harlot, by the way. That's why we're in the condition that we're in today. One who yields herself to defilement for the sake of gain. Now, all these women that you deal with, you got it like the woman that the Elamite dude took her to the cheesecake, and that the food is good, especially the daggone cheesecakes, man. The food is good. It's like TGIF. It's not a 5-star restaurant, but it's good food, good atmosphere. So she was like, "He ain't taking me to this restaurant." Nah. Well, what was she telling the world? She was telling the world she was a hoe. Because if he would have said, we're going to this restaurant, and you tell the waitress we're gonna go Dutch, which is separate checks. He ain't getting nothing. He ain't gonna get a peck on the cheek. You take the woman to an exclusive restaurant, you might pay $300, $400 or more, and now you got these hoes. They'll make 2 orders. They'll order this, they'll order lobster this, and they'll put it in a bag. I'm taking this home, then I'm eating. That's the lowest. First of all, that's some low ass shit. That's some old low ghetto whore shit. So in order to get a step closer, you gotta take her out. You gotta wine her and dine her. But you're paying money. And then she might give you a peck. She might let you smack her on the butt or whatever. And you take her out again a couple of times. Take her out, take her to the movies, to a play. That all adds up. You done spent a couple $1,000s. Then you finally get the piece. Well, guess what? That's a long-term hoe right there. So if you're getting together and courting, first of all, your father's got to be involved in that. And your father's got to make the decision. So guess what? Every last one of you are a bunch of hoes, one way or another. Well, he never gave you no money, but he spent money on you. And so they prostitute, a harlot, one who yields herself to defilement for the sake of gain. Any woman, including in unlawful sexual, that's adultery, whether for gain or for lust, metaphorically an idolatress of Babylon, i.e. Rome, the chief seat of idolatry. So the blue letter is saying that Babylon is really Rome, which they're off. But then again, they're right. They have right, because it is Rome, but it's the second part of Rome. If they really understood the scriptures, there's a sequel to Rome, which is this current system today. See, we're the top scholars, prophetic people on the planet Earth. Not these Edomites. Not these scholars. Okay. So another word for whore is harlot. G4204. Verily I say unto you that the publicans, tax collectors, and the harlots, hoes, go into the kingdom of the Most High before you. So now, every Israelite's going to go in the kingdom. But they said publicans, tax collectors, and harlots will go in before you, which is the scribes and the Pharisees, the one that's in Moses' seat. The scriptures speak about the first being last and the last being first. So some are going to make it in the kingdom before others, but all Israelites are going to make it in the kingdom of heaven. They're not going to burn in hell. That's some more crap that crap and blue skies that Bishop Nathaniel has made statements that the lake of fire is the actual hell that you burn forever. But he changed that. And why did he change it? Because GMS made a number of videos saying that he went off and he finally changed it. But he still has videos up with individuals saying that the hell is place at the lake of fire that you burn forever, which they still got it up, showing you that they're really not in order. They just look like they're in order. That's a well-organized mess. Anyway, so that's Matthew 21, verse 30, 31, 32. For John came unto you the way of righteousness, and ye believed him not, but the publicans and the harlots believe. Ooh, the tax collectors and the hoes believed in him, and ye, when ye had seen it, repented not after that ye might believe him. That's why the Lord said, the tax collectors and the hoes are going to make it before you. You're going to make it in the kingdom ultimately, but they're going to make it before you. Why? Because they believe John. Now, if they believe John, they're automatically going to believe in the Lord. That's another two precepts that prove to you that all Israel shall be saved. Oh, there's another one which devoured his living with a harlot. Yeah, there was this one video, I didn't even get a chance to watch it, on the thumbnail of this guy that spent over almost $63,000 to meet this Instagram chick, could have been a Jake woman, and she stood him up and got the money. So when you with a hoe, hey, women that like to, hey, these boxers, these Jakes, these athletes and entertainers, they get with hoes, but hoes like a lot of, they like, remember Miss Jackson that Floyd dealt with? We had disapproved of that. We used to watch the 24/7. We said, what the hell is Floyd doing? He shouldn't be dealing with that damn hoe. There was a part in one of the episodes where they went to this shoe store and she purchased two. No, she didn't buy shit. She picked out two pair of shoes, and you know what it can. And 50 was with him, And 50 was looking at Floyd like, nigga, what the fuck's your problem? He didn't say nothing, but you could see it in his face. And the grand total was almost, I believe it was almost $12,000. So it was about almost $6,000 for a pair of shoes. That was a hoe. She had no intentions of marrying with this guy. She went with this. What's his brother? Can't even think of his name. The rapper. Damn, I can't even think of his name. Nelly. And now he ain't dealing with it no more. Ain't no, she got to. You know what they do when one super rich Jake leave him, they get with another one. They get with an NBA player. They go with an NFL player. Because they want to get that same money. They want to live the same lifestyle. They're not just gonna go to the hood and get with a guy that worked for UPS. I don't give a damn if he brings home $150,000. That's not good enough for her. So she a hoe. She a hoe. All right. Man, there's a lot on the harlot, man. I mean, you could do a whole. Okay, this is 12 times and 12 verses. You could do a whole topic just on the harlot. Now let me look at this. I'm kind of off track, but I'm gonna get right back on track. Let me just read these precepts right here. Right, Rehab the harlot, the hoe. Rehab the hoe was justified by works. But is she gonna be in the kingdom? She might be remember this hoe? She alright. Get back in the field, bitch. Or she could be somebody's concubine. Because she's from another nation. Let me just read these right quick. And so, like I said, why is Babylon going to be destroyed by way of fire? Because Babylon is a hoe. And that's how you don't stone them to death, but she's going to be stoned, and them stones are going to be mingled with fire. And there came one of the seven angels which had the seven vials, and talked with me, saying unto me, come hither, I will show unto thee the judgment of the great whore, which is the U.S., that sitteth upon many waters. And no American would agree to that. They would say, they see it, I don't want to see that. Because they've never been touched, militarily wise, as a war. They've never been bombed. There was one, I think it was a fighter jet, maybe from Germany, back World War II. I think they hit New Jersey. It's only one time, but that was only one hit. They didn't get bombed out. 5th verse. And upon her for it was a name written, Mystery Babylon the Great. Matter of fact, you know what I'm going to do? Let me come on back. Please forgive me. I'm going to get back into the subject. And the woman was arrayed, which is Babylon the Great, was arrayed in purple and scarlet color and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, which that's what John saw, but it represented USA, America, having a golden cup in her hand full of abominations and filthiness of fornication. So you got Bishop Nate going off again saying that that's the mark. That has nothing to do with the mark of the beast. Doesn't say nothing about a mark. It says a golden cup in her hand full of abominations and filthiness of fornication. See, if he were going to root words, he would understand that the word mark in Revelation 13 and 16 is the word charagma, and charagma is a physical thing. When you take a chisel to a piece of granite, like a tombstone, the Greek word for the chisel would be a charagma. So you can make a small hypodermic needle, or a needle that a doctor used. That's also a charagma, and that's the delivery system of the chip. So for him to bring out this is a weak precept. This is a weak precept that you went to, Bishop Nate. But I believe you had a meeting and you know what it is, but you were told to deceive the people. That's what I believe. I could be wrong, but when it actually happens, when it actually comes to pass, you're going to have a lot of explaining. You and Johanna, General Johanna, are going to have a lot of explaining to do. So anyway, Come on back. Okay. 17 verse 15. And she saith unto me, the waters which thou sawest, where the horse uh, sitteth, are people and multitudes and nations and tongues. The Holy See has dominance over the whole world because there's Roman Catholicism around the world. But the only thing is, it says Holy See, S-E-E, instead of Holy See, S-E-A. Verse, and the 10 horns which thou sawest, these beasts shall hate the whore. That's European Union nations and NATO nations. Any of them that possess missiles. We know England possesses missiles. It says your mother shall be ashamed of you. France, those are the two of them nations that possess missiles. Germany, I got to go into that. It says, but by the end of the day, they may all have missiles. For true, Revelation 19:2, for true and righteous are his judgments. For true and righteous are his judgments. There's another vision after the aftermath of Revelation 18. Let's go to the first verse. And after these things I heard a great voice of much people in heaven saying, Hallelujah, which is what is it? Praise ye Yahweh, or praise ye Yah. Salvation and glory and honor and power unto Icarus, our power. This is after Revelation, so this is in order. Revelation 18, Revelation 19, Revelation 20. It's in order. For true and righteous are his judgments. For he hath judged the great whore. How did he judge it? By fire, which did corrupt the earth. That's fornication. You should make laws protecting Moses. That's why Uganda, and other African countries just didn't accept it. And what did Kamala Harris do? She said, okay, well, then what the administration do? Well, we're not going to give you any aid. So their thing is like, fuck you can keep the aid. We're not going to do that. But they will take the mark. With her fornication, corruption, and have avenged the blood of his servants at her hand, which are the saints, the prophets, the apostles, and the prophets. Let me look up the word corrupt. So when the Most High sets this place on ablaze, it's going to be a righteous act. Let's look up the word corrupt. Anytime I see a Mo, like I saw this Jake Mo from a distance, and I thought immediately the scripture, what is that, Leviticus 20:13? Hadn't brought that out in a while, where it says put him to sleep on the spot. And I looked at the dude and I said I see why the Most High said put him to death on the spot, because you can't rehabilitate them. That's a spirit. That's a foul spirit on that person. Any woman that thinks they a man, and any man that thinks they a woman, and dresses the part and changes himself up, you gotta immediately delete them. They gotta be deleted. Like you see a roach, you're gonna break your neck to kill that roach. That roach is running his ass off, you throwing shit at the roach. Hell, sometimes you ain't got nothing. You just smash it with your hand and fucking wash your hand. You just want that roach dead. So that's how you're supposed to look at moles, as a white roach at that, an albino roach. So the word there is, let's listen to it.
Strong's G 5351. Thyro.
Thyro. Get rid of them thyros. Corruption. To corrupt, to destroy, in the opinion of the Jays or the Jews, the temple was occupied or destroyed when anyone defiled. It was defiled principally 2 times. And it was during the time of the Babylonians, when Esau came in. Then during the time of the Greeks, Antiochus Epiphanes, during the time of the Romans, which was called the abomination of desolation. You ask a Christian, what's the abomination of desolation? That's the Antichrist. Yeah, shut the fuck up. The abomination of desolation, or the abomination that maketh desolate, the last time it happened was 70 AD. Or in the slightest degree damage anything in it. Or if its guardians neglected their duties. Oh, that's a cut right there. Any of you guys that had this truth, like recently you had Gazak, right? Well, he neglected his duties. He's coming back on the scene talking about, I'm here to straighten everything out. Ain't nobody gonna follow you. General Yohana ain't gonna follow you. Bishop Nate ain't gonna follow you. We ain't gonna follow you. Ain't nobody gonna follow you, man. You may get a couple of scragglers. It says, or if its guardians neglected their duties to lead away a Christian church, Israelites, from that state of knowledge and holiness. So you gotta constantly be making videos. Lately, I've been doing 3 videos a day, 2 videos a day, 3 videos a day, in which ought, and I'm gonna say this through the Spirit, everybody that's a member of GMS that's been in this thing, really you should start making videos. You work with a brother that's over you. You might be his reader or something. But after about 6 months, you're supposed to be making your own videos. So all of you, if there's 5,000 members of GMS, active members, you're supposed to be doing videos every day. Yeah, but I only came in 9 months ago. You should have been did videos. Because a lot of y'all, it'll be the camp leader and maybe the second in command and maybe the third command. Y'all do videos. The other guys, they just come around, spirit jump on. No, you got to make them do videos, man. It ain't about getting together on a Saturday or a Friday night or whatever, Tuesday or whatever day you go out. You get together, then the rest of the week you a nigga. No, this knowledge got to be in your mind at all times, man. Everything that you see, you filter it through the scriptures, man, through your spirit, which the scriptures is in you. So you got a lot of guys. So when all hell breaks, you guys has been lollygagging and pussyfooting. That's lahab. You brothers that's been pussyfooting. That's an old term. Y'all don't be surprised if you go ahead and take that chip, man. And you don't tell us about it. Scriptures speak about doing away with the weak and beggarly elements, right? It says to lead away an Israelite from that state of knowledge and holiness in which it ought to abide, to be destroyed, to perish, and in ethical sense to corrupt, deprave. And part of corruption is when you don't get somebody, a police officer that sees crime going on, he don't do nothing about it. He's a corrupt police officer, because it's not about, it's not like if he knows how to. Well, when does a police officer become corrupt? When they do things that are against the law for themselves, or they got partners in crime, right? That's corruption. So you ain't telling them, you ain't arresting him for what he's doing, so that makes you corrupt. Yeah, police officers that moonlight for rich people, and they'll bring out the cocaine and all that, And the police can't say, well, what are they doing cocaine? Well, no, leave them alone. Well, guess what? Those cops that were there were corrupt. Any of you, look, even Bishop Nate spoke about being a police officer for 16 years or whatever the case may be. And he just went in. He said, man, NYPD is corrupt as hell, man. Then he went into details. But so that made you corrupt. Because you the first 6 months, you said this is corrupt. In the year, you saw a lot of corruption, but you decided to stay with that corrupt organization, so you became a part of that corruption. All right? So now, let's come back over here. See, I started with Revelation. Give me a second. Forgive me. Okay. One more. Come on. Oh, and I saw a new heaven and new earth. Esau is the end of the world. For the first heaven and the first earth were passed away, and there was no more sea. And I, John, saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, and Jerusalem means peace city, city of peace, coming down from the Most High out of heaven, prepared as a bride. Who's the bride? Israel. Adorned for a husband. Who's the husband? Yahweh Shai. So, what does this mean? What does the new city mean? Is it going to be an actual city built from heaven and then placed down on earth? No. It's talking about Israelites, that the elected Israelites that were delivered, coming down from after the destruction. So that ship that the Lord came in, that Ezra saw in 2nd Ezra chapter 13, you could say it was in New Jerusalem. But the New Jerusalem is a people before it's a place. The Jerusalem are the Israelites. We are the city of peace. Even when it says the land, sometimes it's talking about the people, as in Ezekiel chapter 38. That's why Bishop Nathaniel got confused on Ezekiel chapter 38. So he said, I can't see it. So he had to make up something. He clearly added to the scriptures when he went to Isaiah 24, I believe it's 22, and he showed a picture of Edomites in a pit. So he came to the conclusion that they're going to keep them in the pit for 1,000 years. And he said, then the Lord told him to let us. Where's that in the scriptures? That's nowhere in the scriptures, man. He's just making that shit up so he can sound deep. He's got to keep the attention of those zombies, man. And they are zombies. So, okay, so this is what I want to do. I want to go to the Holy See, S-E-E, the Holy See. The Holy See, also called the See of Rome, the Petrine See, the Apostolic See, and the government of, I'm aware that it's C, S-E-E, of Vatican City, but I'm going to show you that it should be the Holy See because it's part of the beast system. Is the jurisdiction of the Pope in his role as the Bishop of Rome, head of the worldwide Roman Catholic Church, and head of state or sovereign of Vatican City. By the way, Vatican City is a sovereign, it's a country. It's the smallest country on the planet. It's 2 miles square. It's also known as a city-state. You have 3 major city-states. You have D.C., where the Pentagon is, and the seat of government, which represents the military. That's why the America always gets involved militarily, because that's the military seat, part of the seat. The 3 frogs, as 3 unclean spirits like frog come out of the mouth of the dragon, out of the mouth of the beast. The dragon is interchangeable with the word beast. Sometimes you come across the word dragon or beast, it could be talking about, as in Revelation 12, it was talking about the beast 2,000 years ago. The tail of the beast represented the Herodians, which they are part of the beast. They're Edomites, just like the Romans are Edomites. There was Herod that put out the order to kill the babies, the boys. It didn't say boys or girls, but it was boys, because they knew that the Messiah was going to come through a boy. They knew that. And ordered to kill the babies 2 years and younger. So they were actually going, hey, what Israel's doing right now, killing them babies, they don't care about them babies. You know what they call them babies, and Palestinian babies that are killed? They call it, oh, that's collateral damage. That's collateral damage. They're not remorseful for that. And then Benjamin Netanyahu called for a complete genocide and slaughter. He said it. He said it. I did a video on it. He had quoted was that Second Samuel's. It was either First Samuel or Second Samuel. I can go to it. Matter of fact, I am going to go to it. I am going to go to it. It might be First Samuel, but I thought it. Let's see. No, it's First Samuel. It's First Samuel. And I'm not going to bring up the article. Look it up for yourself. He actually quoted 1 Samuel 15. Samuel, which is the prophet, also said unto Saul the king, Yahweh sent me to anoint thee king over the people, over his people, over Israel now. Therefore hearken unto the voice of the word of Yahweh. Thus saith Yahweh of hosts, I remember that which Amalek did to Israel, how he lay. So this guy's saying that the Palestinians are Amalekites. They're not Amalekites. They would be Ishmaelites. But he's not a prophet of the Lord, so he doesn't know. Did to Israel, how he laid wait for him in the way when he came up from Egypt, when we were coming out of Egypt, when we were coming out of the wilderness. Now go and smite Amalek, which are the Amalekites, which are Edomites, And the Palestinians are definitely not Edomites, and utterly destroy all that they have, and spare them not, but slay both men and women, infants and sucklings, toddlers, ox and sheep, camel and ass. And Saul gathered the people together and numbered them in Tel 200,000 footmen and 10,000 men of Judah. Because Judah went out to war. They were not the warriors, though. So this is what Benjamin Netanyahu called for, a complete. But they're saying, no, this is not a genocide. No. That's why they kill. They're blowing up hospitals. They're blowing up refugee camps. They're telling them, let's go to the south. Leave the north and go to the south, and we won't hit you. Then they're hitting the south. But then you got the media over here telling you a different story. It's all one-sided. That's why ultimately this place is going to be destroyed, because following after the lease of the flock. So that's a perfect wag the dog scenario. Yeah, this place is done. Babylon is done. The only thing that's left is the Charagma, and then everything gonna move super quick. Yeah, we might be out of this thing inside of a month or two. So let me come back over here to the Holy See. Okay. Diocese, Rome, jurisdiction, sovereign, government over the state, the city-state, known as Vatican City. There's 3 city-states. London, England, the financial city-state. Vatican City, the spiritual city-state. And D.C., which is the military city-state. 3 come out of the mouth of the. Let me go ahead and read that. I'm sorry. I'm gonna get it right. I'm gonna read it right. I don't want to botch it up. Armageddon. It means mountain of troops. And I saw 3 unclean spirits like frogs, not frogs, come out of the mouth of the dragon. Like I said, dragon is interchangeable with the word beast, whether it be the beast of 2,000 years ago or the beast today. This would be represented as London, the financial part, which the Illuminati come out of that. That's an Illuminati stronghold, Rothschilds and so forth, super rich. And out of the mouth of the beast, that's DC, and out of the mouth of the false prophet, that's the Roman Catholic Church, and all the daughter churches, Baptist, Methodist, Jehovah's Witness, all Protestants, Calvinists, whatever. This guy vocab is he ain't nothing but a Roman Catholic. That's all he is. He ain't nothing but a Roman Catholic. And all that's going to be taken out. So now let's come on back. So the 3 city-states I just read to you in Revelation 16, according to the Catholic tradition, it was founded in the 1st century by St. Peter. It was not founded by no St. Peter and Paul, and by virtue of the doctrine of the Petrine. Let's look that up. the primacy of Peter. Okay, Petrine, the primacy of Peter. You got a cracker with long hair, also known as Petrine primacy, is the position and preeminence that is attributed to Peter among the 12 apostles. So that's a counterfeit church. They're doing what we're doing. They took all that we had. That's why you had a Renaissance art. You had a Renaissance alphabet, a Renaissance language. Papal. See? Let me show you something. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, he's sitting in the seat of the Messiah, supposedly. Then you have Peter on either side. Then you got the rest of the 12. That's why they call it the apostolic succession, which, if you notice, when the ICGJC changed the whole doctrine, they started saying they represent the apostolic succession. And I said, what does that mean? So I looked it up. Apostolic succession, it goes back to Roman Catholicism. So they would change over to a Roman Catholic. That's why it was teaching that Mary never had sex with Joseph. Matter of fact, they said that she was the ever virgin, that she didn't have no children, which even the scriptures come against that, because it said her and Joseph came together. It said Catholic Christians around the world and what is the Roman Catholics known for? You guessed it. You got it right. Entity, the Holy See is headquarters, and who gets a slap in the wrist for it? Operates from and exercises exclusive dominion over the independent Vatican City states. The Vatican City state is a landlocked. That means it's locked. There's land, other countries surrounding them. Independent country is a landlocked independent country. So Vatican City is an independent country. It's the smallest country on the planet. It's only 2 miles square. City state, microstate, and enslaved within an enclave within Rome. It's in Rome, Italy. It became independent from Italy in 1929. Because prior to that, that wasn't the case. With the Lateran Treaty, and it is a distinct territory under full ownership, exclusive dominion. I'm not going to read the rest of it. So that's one of the frogs. They even got their own flag. They got their own flag, and they got their own coat of arms. If the Pope comes to New York, I remember years ago, Pope came to Harlem, they cleaned Harlem up. They cleaned that place up. They only left and went back to the mess that it was. So now let me come over here. Now I'm going to Revelation, and I'm going to get ready to close. I went long. Revelation 21 verse 1. And I saw a new heaven and new earth. The first heaven and the first earth were passed away, and there was no more sea. Cambridge, since it's short, I always go to Cambridge first. The new heaven and new earth, chapter Revelation 20 verse 1, a new heaven and new earth. Isaiah 65 verse 17. For behold, I create new heavens and new earth, and the former, which is Esau, shall not be remembered, because we're going to burn them up after 1,000 years. We're going to burn them up. So there's not going to be any reemergence of Gog and Magog gathering nations against us, nor come into mind. Not even going to think about it. After they done, they done. Isaiah 66 verse 22. For as the new heavens and the new earth which I will make shall remain before me, said Yahweh, so shall your seed and your name remain. So nobody's going to jump us. Nobody's going to take us down. So what Bishop Nate was complete bullshit, but he's trying to come off deep. I guess he's beginning to lose followers. Referred to as here, 2 Peter 3 verse 13. Nevertheless, we, according to his promise, look for new heavens and new earth wherein dwelleth righteousness, because this current heaven and earth does not dwell righteousness. It is idle to ask what amount of change in the physical constitution of the universe is implied. The destruction of the earth is not, it's the destruction of a system as a seat of life, and its renewal. Right, the renewal is going to come with Israel. Would imply a complete change of the visible heavens, but a world wherein dwelleth righteousness. What is righteousness? To do the right thing. What is doing the right thing? The law. Thou shalt not commit adultery. Thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt not bear false witness. Would be a new world, like the world of Israel, world without end. Isaiah, even, I believe that's Isaiah 45:17, if I'm not mistaken, without any physical change at all. Yes, there is going to be physical change. We're going to build up the world again. So there's going to be a lot of work handed out. There was no more sea. Now if you go to Revelation 17, the sea represents the people. Revelation 17 and 15. So the new sea are the sea of people that's going to come up under the Lord's statutes and commandments. Isaiah 2 and 2, Micah 4 and 2. More literally, the sea is no more. We cannot be sure that this is to be taken literally. It's not to be taken literally. We hear of a river in the next chapter, and a perennial stream implies an abundant reservoir of water somewhere. The abundant reservoir of water is the truth. Out of his belly shall flow rivers of living water. To us, the absence of a sea seems, so to speak, a defect in the landscape, while the ancients it seemed a pledge of security and of unfettered intercourse between all nations. Isaiah 33:21. But there the glorious Yahweh will be to us Israelites a place of broad rivers, and rivers represent life. Rivers are always life. Rivers are, you have fishes, you have sea creatures, so that's life. Wherein shall go no galley with oars, neither shall a gallant ship pass thereby. So we know waters is talking about actual waters, rivers, lakes, oceans, and so forth. But we also know that waters represent this truth. And we go ahead and move on to the second verse. Then and I, John, saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down from, and that's the ship that we're going to be delivered up in, the elect. And so we're going in Yahweh Shai's ship, which he can hold over 1 million people. He can make that ship big. If there's 2-3 million people, he can hold them. If there's 1 billion people, he can hold them. That ship can grow. That's a spiritual ship. So we can see the reward of the wicked, Psalms 91. And I, John, saw the holy city, which are Israelites, New Jerusalem, which are the Israelites, coming down. So when they go into the detail of the gates were high, and the gates, and at the west 3 gates, and at the east 3 gates, and the names of 12 tribes and the apostles and all that. And you shall be a pillar. It's all symbolic for Israel. So the question is this: is there actually going to be a new temple? I believe so. Yeah. Of course, there'll be buildings. There'll be a place to gather. There'll be an outer court and an inner court. Now you have some brothers that say, no, it's not going to be that. So, we're going to have to wait. We're going to have to wait to see how this thing is all set up. The Ark of the Covenant we're not going to need. But we are going to have places. But the third temple that the whole world is waiting for, and this is what they want to do. The Israeli government, they want to push out the Palestinians and take hold of that whole region, and then they're going to build a third temple, which they don't understand that the third temple are the Israelites. So the description of the new city represents the perfection of the Israelites, because they're going to be without sin. Prepared for it as a bride, we're the bride adorned for a husband. The husband is when we're going to be joined with our Lord. Then we shall forever be with the Lord. So now let me go to the commentary. The New Jerusalem, Revelation 21:2, and I John saw, read simply, and I saw New Jerusalem, the old Jerusalem, though we saw Revelation 20:9, and they went up, and they went up on the breadth of the earth and compassed the camp of the saints. This is getting ready to happen. Gog and Magog. The camp of the saints is a people before it's a place. About, because they're looking to destroy us, and the beloved city are the Israelites, and fire came down from the Most High out of heaven and devoured them. Now that goes hand in hand with, matter of fact, I'm going to do that. Let me do this. Let me see if they take you to, I know in the blue letter, I believe it, the precept takes you to Ezekiel 38. Okay, this is not what I want. Come on back. Let's do this again. There we go. Let me see if they're going to mention Ezekiel. I'm almost positive they mention it in the blue letter. Matter of fact, let me come up here. Here. I went through it. Okay, it's right here. Satan freed, doomed. His freedom came during the time of Christopher Columbus. They ain't coming up no more. So when you read about Gog and Magog, 1,000 years, what does it take you to? Ezekiel 38 and 39. So obviously, the city is talking about the people. They're looking to take us out. The devil shall come down upon you having great wrath, for he knoweth that he hath but a short time. His thing is to completely devour you, like the IDF plan is to completely destroy the people of Gaza. They don't care about the babies. They're blowing up hospitals. They say, oh, we didn't do that. And the whole world sees this, man. And that's why a lot of people are not going to vote this year. The Democrats are not going to vote. Nobody takes the current administration seriously. It's a joke, and the whole world sees that. The whole world sees that this place is dying. So anyway, let me come back over here. Okay, I'm going to read this and then I'm going to close. See, this is why a lot of y'all be asking questions about certain precepts and this, because you don't want to sit down and study. You don't want to go into it. You just say, well, let me ask the apostle, let me ask the elder. Okay, the New Jerusalem Revelation, simply New Jerusalem, for the old Jerusalem. Though we saw Revelation 2:9 that it is to be again a holy city. The holy city are the people. Ezekiel 38 are talking about the people, not the people over there in the land. It's talking about the people before it's a land. In the last days, as a old will, because they're looking for the third temple, and the third temple is being built. Look at that. You talking shit about the third temple. And it passed away with the first earth, Esau's earth, rulership coming down from the Most High to heaven, transport the two clauses, transpose the two clauses, out of heaven from the Most High. This is the New Jerusalem, which the New Jerusalem, what John saw was Yahushai's gigantic ship come back down on the earth and taking over the earth, of which the earthly city is an imperfect copy. See on Revelation 4 verse 6. And before the throne there were a sea of glass like the crystal, and in the middle of the throne and round about the throne were four beasts full of eyes before and behind, all seeing. Revelation 6 and 9. And when he had opened his fifth seal, I saw under the altar the souls of them which were slain for the word of the Lord, and some of us will be slain, and for the testimony which they held. That was the apostles of old and the disciples and us today. Revelation 20 verse 4. If you don't accept the chip, some of you are going to be locked down, some of you are going to be good, and some of you are going to be put to death. For the heavenly temple, which is a people, while this world lasts, this true Jerusalem, which are the people, is above, which are the people. Jerusalem, which is above, is free, and we only know its nature from the earthly copy of it before the Messiah came, and the spiritual approach to it. Hebrews 12 verse 22. But you are come to Mount Zion. Mount Zion is a people before it's a place, and to the city of the living power, the heavenly Jerusalem. The heavenly Jerusalem are the Israelites, which we will all be men, be priests, and to an innumerable company of angels. And we are angels in bodies. But in the days here described, it will be realized on earth in all its perfection. What is the Most High going to make us do? When He changes us, He's going to make us perfect. So the New Jerusalem are the sons of Israel, prepared. The building and arrangement of the city serve the same purpose as the dress and ornament of a bride, because we are the bride. Isaiah 61 and 10. I will greatly rejoice in Yahweh. My soul shall be joyful in my power, my God, for He hath clothed me with garments of salvation or righteousness. That's also in Revelation 16 about being naked. Also in Matthew 22 that a man didn't have the wedding garments on, and they were asked, "Sir, where's your wedding garments?" And he was speechless. He has covered me with the robe of righteousness. The robe of righteousness is righteousness. As a bridegroom decked himself with ornaments. And because when the Lord comes, he coming perfect. And as a bridegroom, a bride adorned herself with her jewels. The jewels represent, hey, when brothers come across certain precepts, we call it a jewel. He said, oh, he dropped that jewel. I'm going to read this one last one and I'm going to close. Revelation 19:7. Let us be glad and rejoice and give honor to him, for the marriage of the Lamb is come and his wife has made herself ready. How are we making ourselves? Who's making himself ready? Us, by reading the book, eating the roll, and doing what the roll says. Any of you guys that took 20 years off, 30 years off, you just did a disappearing act, and you came back on the scene like a Zach, you ain't a part of it, man. You ain't a part of this, man. At least the Most High have mercy on you. Anyway, with that, I went a little long, I know. With that, I'm going to say shalom on to the next one.